to however you call me, I don't really care, and welcome back to Wall of Tanks. Now today is the 8th of March. I've just bought the French EBR 75 FL Panhard. I'm not sure if it's called like that or it has a different name, but you guys probably know what I mean. It's the French Tier 8 Wheeled Premium Vehicle Challenge. Now, I told you guys that I would keep you posted on my progress, and actually we cannot take a look at the stage I was on when I bought the vehicle, but I didn't make it to tier 10 or level 10, and I did not get the vehicle for free. That would have been absolutely mad. I had other duties, obligations that I had to attend to, and obviously getting a tier 8 French wheeled premium tank for entirely free would have taken basically 2 weeks of constant non-stop grinding, and that's definitely not something I was very keen on doing, because most of the time I don't really play that much Wall of Tanks on a daily basis anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 games, but other than that I get very easily frustrated by very basic things. May it be a bad team, may it just be a bad RNG roll, and I might already just look down the drain and see myself being very tilted. Now, okay, that's maybe a bit too far-fetched. I usually don't go around being a toxic asshole in the game, but I tend to get a little bit upset from time to time when I have like a very quick and painful death and maybe a very bad team that is not very how should I put it, very experienced in the game. But I mean, certainly that is just the case that you will see in this game from now on. I mean, every new player is welcomed here because this game certainly needs to have players that stick around. It needs new players that learn how to play this game, and that basically brought me back to the thought of how horrible it must be to start this game off right now at this instance without having any clue what you have to do in any tier. There are so many different trees you can go to. Like, if I knew back in the days that the German tech tree was one of the worst tech tree in the game, I would have never believed them, because when I remember World War II, I always have this very romanticized picture. Okay, well, that's definitely the wrong word for World War II to be compared to, but you understand this picture of the Tiger 1, one of the ultimate war machines of the German Third Reich. Now, obviously, it had its huge flaws. It is actually not as amazing as a lot of people do point it out to be, and in the game it's really bad. But also the Panther, like, if you think about the Panther, it plays very differently from what I've seen. Panther footage is from World War II. Now, obviously, it's still a game, it's very arcadey, but it's not what I imagined at the first step when I thought about World of Tanks. So I cannot imagine what it is like to be a new player in this game and try out new vehicles. Or get like any kind of tier 10 and then not have any clue how to play the tier 10. Like, I mean, I obviously went that road down the line as well, but that's like 7 years ago when I first unlocked my first tier 10, which was the T30, the now tier 9 tank destroyer, which used to be the tier 10 heavy tank for the Americans. Now that is definitely a huge change. This vehicle is still very dear to me, and I don't own it anymore, but definitely a super cool vehicle. Now, unfortunately, we cannot preview it right now because I do have some kind of glitch there, but it is a super cool vehicle. Now, there is one particular person that comes to mind who went down that road, and that was Quickie Baby. You guys probably know that guy. He is basically the biggest Wall of Tanks YouTuber, together with Mingles with Jingles, or Jingles, whatever he's called. And yes, I watch both Jingles and Quickie Baby. Both are very entertaining Wall of Tanks or Wall of Warship YouTubers, and they make very good content, in my opinion. And yeah, Quickie Baby actually just released a video where he did the entire grind for the EBR 75 Panhard, this vehicle right here, which is not being displayed in the garage right now, for free, and unlocked it without spending a single penny. But he spent something along the lines of 56 hours in 2 weeks. 56 hours in 2 weeks. If you kind of cut it up, it's still a huge amount of time that you basically cannot do if you have a job, if you have other responsibilities. So I wasn't able to do it. I got to rank 5, tier 5, and I wasn't really even trying. I was just playing the game on and off, and I got to tier 5, and tier 5 was 50% off, so I still got it for about 30 bucks. Now the question is it worth it? Now this video today is not going to be a review of the EBR 75 FL10. It's just a little showcase. We're going to be playing it, and we're going to see what kind of playstyle it really does have. And I already have a bit of an advantage. I played the vehicle, at least not this one, but I played very similar, a similar vehicle like this in the test server, but the characteristics did definitely change. So what is the main strength of the EBR 75 FL10? Now obviously you can see it right here. It has 8 wheels, 2 times 4 sets of wheels, and 2 sets of wheels are actually very interesting. Those are wheels that you can actually pull up and put down. Thus they give you better traction, and you'll be running around with better mobility, with better turn speed and all that kind of stuff. But if you pull them up, you're going to be faster with the cost of traction, and your ability to turn will not be as impressive as it is with the wheels in the middle down. So yeah, it's a very interesting tank design, and we're probably going to be seeing more wheeled vehicles. I can already expect the Italians to get them. We're going to be getting new Swedish medium tanks, although they do not have wheels, but it's going to be very exciting. 2019, it's already March, right? So damn, I already overslept like 3 months of the year, and it's going to be interesting to see where World of Tanks is going on from here on out. On the 11th of March, Frontlines game mode is going to be back until the 18th of March, so that's going to be nice as well. And yeah, we have quite a few things that we can actually cover in the next couple of videos, in the next couple of weeks. But without further ado, I'd say we do not check the statistics or the characteristics of this vehicle, and we just jump in right into the battle. The only thing that you will need to know about this vehicle is that its view range is pretty damn bad for a scout, and its concealment is pretty damn good. So what they want you to do is to active scout the enemy team. That means we have to get up close and personal, and with the speed that we have, we might just outrun a couple of incoming shots, but some of them will probably hit us from time to time. And I still have to find the perfect balance for these wheeled vehicles, that I do not play too aggressively at the beginning and then just lose like basically all of the very small amount of HP that I have accumulated on this vehicle, and then be completely useless at the middle part and then die very early on. That is just something you have to get used to. So right now we will probably spot the opening field, or it depends. We have a couple of wheeled vehicles both on our team and on the opposite team, and the thing is, this vehicle is only good if you have good support, and that is very difficult on certain maps. City maps are very, very bad for this kind of vehicle, but this map, Ghost Town, actually does give us some nice ways to be able to spot the enemy team. But the thing is that we have to figure out where the majority of our team is going to be going, because if we head to the wrong place, which would be the right side, although the right side is very important to be spotted, because if you do not spot the right side, it can pretty much lead to a very, very quick defeat. But the problem is, if we do spot the right side and we do not have any sniping support from our team, as we have a lot of vehicles on the left side now moving up. That would probably not be very good for us. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be early spotting all of these guys that are coming in from the eastern, no wait, this is the western part of the map. And we've already engaged the first EBR 75, so right here. Yeah, it's probably going to be a light tank duel. Wheeled vehicle battle. And you can see the Hotchkiss, the tier 7, already has lost quite a lot of HP. We're going to do a sweep real fast, and we're actually going to unload on this FL10. And to be fair, it worked out pretty nicely for us. What the hell? Okay, this is the danger of driving a vehicle that is going around so fast and not knowing where you're going. And what I noticed playing this vehicle, I have actually just played one game before, but I've played a couple of games against them. They do tend to bounce very weird shots from time to time. Like, I mean, the pen on this vehicle, it does fire APCR 180 millimeters, and the armor should not give you that many bounces, as I have noticed while playing vehicles to unlock or just to destroy these EBR 75 FL10s. But still, it's a very nice new feeling. It feels very novel to be able to drive around very quickly from one end to the other side of the map. And I think this is definitely one of the coolest features. And at the moment, I was kind of scared about balancing issues. But as it turns out, up until now, I think it does work really well, as long as you don't have too many of those wheeled vehicles running around. If you only have one or two, it does work very nicely. But if you have like 5 or more, it does tend to become kind of a way too quick matchup, because usually anyone who's driving around in these vehicles is just going around so quickly, and you do tend to run into a lot of things, especially on city maps. So right there we spotted the AMAX 1390, and this is one of the things that does definitely change the meta. The 1390 is no longer going to be able to stay hidden in one bush for the entire game, because if I run past him just once, I'm going to be able to spot him, which for him is going to be quite a tragedy, because as soon as he gets spotted out in a bush that is very, very offensive, he's going to be dead very quickly on. So right here, as you can see, there's not a lot of resistance from the enemy team. We're able to go through any place we want to, and this is the game you want to have in a light tank such as this. Artillery missing us as well. That is absolutely beautiful. That's what I want to see when I play this vehicle. And you can just see the misses, man. This is just so crazy. But overall, I think the introduction of this vehicle type is a welcome change, especially for for all the players who've been here for a very, very long time. So we're just going to high explosive our way through the Scorpion G and the Waffenträger of Panzer IV, because it gives you something new. It gives you a new toy. And we actually bounced off his gun. And it does actually fit into the game very nicely. It makes it more dynamic, and oh god, there we go. And it makes it more interesting. And because we're so fast, we already have like 5 kills, and the 3,500 damage. We can actually pick up the top gun if we get the M4A1 Revolution in time. And actually, you can see right there, the Foch is not a slow tank destroyer, but we're so fucking fast that we can just catch up to this Foch, overtake him, and hopefully get the kill. We can do about 300 something damage, probably with the 2 round clip. But the thing is, it's going to be interesting to see how much HP there. Oh, thank God we actually got him. Yeah, bouncing with this vehicle does tend to happen. So, yeah, 3,600 damage almost, 1,351 spotted. This is actually a pretty damn good match for the EBR 10 or for any other lightly wheeled vehicle. And you can see that as long as you have an open field, you have a lot of room and space to traverse with this vehicle, you can do pretty damn good. So I wasn't really phased at the beginning when they released this vehicle as a premium, because when I played the standard wheeled tanks in the main in the test server, I thought that the EBR 105 was really fun, that the EBR 90 was fun as well, that the Lynx 6x6 was like the very first vehicle where you actually got the new mechanic and where it started to get better. But the EBR Hotchkiss and the AMD 178B were just not very exhilarating for me, because they just kind of had bad view range, bad, like, okay, decent mobility, but they were not fast enough and they were just large enough to be hit quite easily. And I just wasn't that interested when I first started playing these two vehicles, and I wasn't very much enjoying the gameplay. So when I started playing the Lynx and the EBR 90 and then eventually the EBR 105, I noticed that the EBR 105 was super fun to be played because it was so freaking fast, and it just turned everything on its head all of a sudden. And I thought it was really cool because the 105mm gun with the gun handling was actually super awesome to be played with, and you were able to fire on the move whenever you were driving, and it was super cool. So when they first introduced the EBR 75 FL10, I was kind of skeptical, because previously what did we have? We had super overpowered vehicles that they kind of had in those matchups, although the Caravan Action 10 wasn't super overpowered, but definitely the SU 130 PM was one of the more powerful vehicles, and the Progetto mod 36 or 45 was also pretty damn powerful. So I was kind of let down by the release of this mode, where you're able to get the EBR 75 FL10. But it turns out it actually is a very cool vehicle. It's very unique because it's wheeled, and I did get a 50% discount on it, so it was kind of worth it for me in the end still. It's still pretty cool to see that if you get a discount, it's pretty nice, but the starting price of $76 is pretty damn high. So if you didn't get a discount, I wouldn't have bought it for $76, but once you get the discount, it kind of does become a little bit more of a viable option. And it certainly isn't bad. I've played 2 games in it, and I've had a blast in both of them. And you can see I just had the Mastery Badge, Ace Tanker, and a Top Gun in that game. If you have a good matchup, if you have a good map, and you have the ability to be able to drive around without having to constantly maneuver in between buildings and vehicles, you can actually have a great tank, actually great experience with this tank. But it also kind of depends. Are you a light tank driver? Do you like light tank gameplay? If you don't like active scouting, this probably isn't going to be your cup of tea. But I think still it's a nice way of wargaming, going into the right direction without making them overpowered. And it certainly does give new kind of life or different kind of meaning to the game, that you can play these lightly wheeled vehicles. So yeah, this is all I wanted to talk about today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I would love to hear your guys' opinion on the vehicle. Do you like the EBR 75? Did you get it? If you did, How far did you get with the discount? Did you buy it just at the beginning when it came out, or did you get it for free? That would be really interesting to hear. So I see you guys in the next one. Peace out.